Welcome to another edition of Discover Tinley, where we highlight the people and organizations in town that make Tinley Park a great place in which to live. And as we all know, Tinley Park is a pretty great place in which to live. My name is Ron Centani. I'll be your host on the program today. And as usual, the program is brought to you by the volunteer services of the Community Resources Commission in town, along with our other volunteers, our adults, our high school, college students, all kinds of people helping out put this program on. It's truly a volunteer effort. Spring is arriving in Tinley Park, so watch out for the summer activities. A lot of things are going to be going on in town here in the summertime. Tinley Park usually puts on a good display of concerts and farmers markets and things like that, so look out for that. And also I might advise you, if you want to really see a special occasion at the end of the month, Tinley Park always has a wonderful celebration of Memorial Day. So look on the Tinley Park website as to the date and time and everything like that, but it's always a very moving and very wonderful tribute to the war Memorial Day for veterans. So look for that. We have some special guests this afternoon or this evening on our program. One special guest comes to us from an agency in Tinley Park that does a lot of very good things for the young ladies and for gentlemen, for married couples in town. It's called the Pass Network for Life, and we have Tim Dilbeck, who's the director of that. Welcome to Discover Tinley.
Thanks, Ron.
Hope I got that right.
Yeah, you did.
What is the Pass Network for Life, and where are you located at?
Well, we're actually located in 4 centers.
Okay.
So we have one in Tinley Park, which is our headquarters. We have one in South Holland. The other one is in Lansing, and our last and newest facility is in Chicago Heights.
Oh,
so
I didn't know you had one in Chicago Heights. Okay.
Well, it's fairly new. I think it
Okay.
was opened in 2014.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the Pass? Is that an acronym of some kind, or?
It is.
Okay.
And thank goodness I finally memorized it for the show. So
Thank you.
it's Pregnancy Aid South Suburbs, because we're in the south suburbs of the Chicagoland area.
Okay. And exactly what is your mission? What's your goal, or what do you hope to accomplish with your agency?
Well, there's quite a bit, and I'll do my best to be as brief as possible. So we really work with a lot of families in the area. As of right now, we have about 76 cities and
my.
communities that we draw from into all of our centers. Within 2015, our highest was Harvey, and our second highest was actually Tinley Park that come in and see us.
Oh my.
So we offer a variety of options for the young ladies. It's all free of charge.
Okay.
So from a limited ultrasound to a free pregnancy test, and then we have some option counseling that we do from lay personnel.
Yeah, basically, what do you try to do? Oh, first of all, what are your clients, and what do you hope to do with them, and why would they even come to your agency?
Well, they come for a variety of reasons. Initially, we are a crisis pregnancy center. So normally, if somebody comes in, when they come in, they, in a sense, the crisis pregnancy, they're pregnant.
Okay.
They don't know what to do. They're a little leery. They don't know what decision to make, because to them it wasn't planned. So what we do is we give them options, viable options, once we find out where they're at in their pregnancy. And that's where the pregnancy test and the ultrasound comes into play. So there's, from adoption.
Yeah, what are the options you kind of give them to?
Oh, sure. So there's adoption, and then to be able to keep their child and to parent. And we want to make sure that we help them through their parenting. So what people don't know about us, we stay with a family up to that child is 2 years of age.
Oh my.
Which is not always a norm. But for us, it's beneficial, because if you're going to keep your child and you're a little leery about what to do because you weren't prepared, and 9 times out of 10 you're not prepared when you have a child. So we want to be able to help them. We educate them through from parenting skills to financial stability, and then they take those points, they get points for it, and then they cash them in to get free diapers and wipes and baby needs.
Oh my goodness, you do a lot.
and that's only a part of it.
Okay.
That's only a part of it. So if you just want to go run through it real quick. So the first one is we have 4 pillars.
Okay.
The first one is prevention. So some of us know about us because we're in all the public school systems out here. We teach abstinent awareness through our educators. So during if your kids are in high school, you'll know because during the health class, we'll have an educator come in and we'll actually teach them some of the benefits of abstinence.
Okay.
And then
Thank you.
we inform them of what can happen if they choose otherwise.
Is that pretty much all the schools around here use your services?
Right now we're in about 30.
Oh my goodness.
And that's public and private, but most of them are public.
Okay.
So our second one is our intervention, which I just discussed. The third one is the education, where you get educated, get the points, cash them in. But just a little side note on that, we want the men to be there. Because evidently they're having a child. She didn't get that child on her own, right?
Thank you.
So he needs to be a part of that. Okay. He's a part of the equation biologically. He needs to be a part of that equation physically.
I'm glad to hear that. I think it's terrible that they've gone all this time and always the burdens on the mother and the woman and all that stuff. The father needs to play, or I think it needs to play a role in that too. There needs to be two people in there, I think, to raise a kid.
You're right. There should be. I mean, it's maybe some people say, well, that's old-fashioned, but evidently it sticks because it's was normally how it works, right?
Right.
Sometimes the guy gets a bad rap because well, she doesn't know what to do. He might be telling her, well, I can't raise this child. I don't even want to be a father, much less not even thinking about being a husband. I don't know if he's going to choose or what he would choose in that. We want to make sure we have answers to his questions and him not to be too nervous and to let him know that he has value and he should be a part of the child's life.
Can you give an idea what you might tell the young man what he needs to do or what his role might be? And you've got a program, I guess, a new program that starts talking about that?
We actually do. So our program is actually is going to be up and running within the month of May. And what it is, we have a gentleman. I don't think he minds me stating his name. His name is Kevin Mathers. He's a certified house inspector. So what he's going to do is he's going to help the men to mentor them and to be able to show them basic electric, basic maintenance for their furnace, and know how to have an upkeep of their home. Now, they might not own a home, but the whole idea is to purchase one, right? To be able to be stable.
They're going to live someplace.
Exactly. And he needs to know that he has value, he's a leader of the home, and in order for him to save money and to do the best for his child and possibly if he ever gets married, to know what to do.
Wow.
But so if he comes inside, the basic thing that we like to tell him is, one thing we know as being men, we don't realize being a father until the child is in our arms. Right. We don't feel a child kicking. We don't get sick normally like a woman does. Right. She already senses this. We don't.
Right.
So, and then we sometimes we lack to be sensitive when she's going through it. So we want to help him, give him a little bit of wisdom of what we went through, and to let him know that, you are the biological father. So we would like you to see that visual of that heartbeat and that baby on that ultrasound, which is pretty awesome. When you're a father, it really starts to click. And then it really gives him the attitude to say, you know what, I want to be a part of this child's life, because fatherlessness has a lot of, unfortunately, things that happen within time that hurts our society.
Oh, yeah.
And he needs to know his responsibility.
Well, can you go over some things you might teach him that he needs his role as a father? What should fathers do when that baby first comes around? What kind of things should he be involved in?
Oh, sure. So, he could be helping feed the child. He could be helping her with a regimen of who's going to do the child feeding, who's going to be changing diapers. Obviously, being a man doesn't keep us from doing those kind of things. It's not a woman's job.
Right.
We want to be able to be supportive, and it's not just telling her that we love her and we appreciate her. We want to show her in our actions to be able to know how to take care of that child. So those are some of the things to do. And of course, I think the biggest thing is how does he talk to her and to understand his better half? And I think a lot of times guys don't understand that.
Okay.
We think women are a little bit too complicated, and they are. So that means we have a lot to learn, right?
Yeah, but women are going through, that's a pretty complicated process. I mean, obviously we haven't gone, but it's got to be a pretty complicated process. So having the man there to help go through that, I got to think it's a pretty supportive thing.
Absolutely, and I think we always look at the women. Back in the day, the women supported the men when they went out to work. Now women work. I mean, to even talk like that's odd. To say, well, women work. Of course they do. It's an equality thing.
Right.
But the good thing is now that he plays the role of being supportive as she's pregnant, and that shows value to her of how much he cares, and that really is going to bind them together if they're going to stick this out. And obviously, being a better parent, being a better support system ends up being a better parent, and then the child sees that and feels that security.
All right. Now you got a big fundraiser coming up pretty soon. What's going on with that, and when is that?
So our big fundraiser is June 10th.
Okay.
We have our Hike for Life, and some people know, but I just maybe go through some of the things. So we are going to be from 7 to 2 o'clock. So what's
the date?
The date is June 10th.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay.
No problem. So we were inviting runners to be a part of it. If you just want to run, it's $30. We wanted people to hike to show solidarity that we're pro-life. We believe that there is value in human life, and I don't see anybody that would disagree with that, right?
Right.
So to be able to walk or to hike, if you want to get sponsors, then we really are not going to charge you to run. If you get people to sponsor you to run or walk, that's how we stay open, because we don't receive any government funds. So that's really important. So businesses, churches, individuals that help us stay financed, and we're at 85% of all the money that comes in go to our programs. And it's a standard that you can't be below 65% of a nonprofit. We're way above that.
Wow.
So it might be a skeleton crew, but we're really effective.
Now, where's this going to be at?
That's going to be in Frankfurt, on the grounds of Peace Community Church, and we're going to be using the Old Plank Trail area to run and walk.
Now, how would people sign up for this or get involved with it?
They can go online. Go to helppass.org. Okay. And there's plenty of things for the family. We have a jumpy house, climbing wall, petting zoo, pony rides, face painting, you name it. Churches come out if they want to play part of their band. We're going to have live music. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a real fun, active time for the family.
Wow. Again, June 10th.
June 10th.
From 7 a.m.
From 7 a.m. to 2. The runners go at 8. The walkers start at about 8:30.
Okay. How far? What kind of distance are we talking about them running?
It's a 5K.
Oh, 5K. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. So that's 3.16 mile.
I could probably do that.
Absolutely. Well, you might not want to go because they're going to put too much of a challenge on everybody else.
So. No. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. Wow. And you're pretty much funded just by donations, right?
Purely donations.
Okay.
Purely donations. Okay. We don't, like I said, there's nothing from the government, so it's a tight budget. We utilize our funds most appropriately, and we do have somebody that checks our books. So there's no playing around with the finances. So
all right. Final
people
question:
should know that.
Where would somebody call to use your services at? How would they get a hold of you?
They can call us at 708-614-9777.
Okay, and then they can get a hold of your services and go from there, right?
Absolutely.
All right, beautiful. Well, you sound like you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. We need people like you around to do this kind of stuff.
I appreciate you allowing me to be here to tell the people.
All right, the PASS Network for Life in Tinley Park and some other suburbs. Give them a call and see you on June 10th, and hopefully get out there and help raise some money. Thanks for coming for the Discover Tinley.
Thank you, Ron.
It was pretty interesting talking to our first guest in Tinley Park. Our next guest is involved with some pretty special people and pretty special events in town here, and doing a fantastic job raising some money for some special people. And I've got to get this straight now. The Special Olympics Law Enforcement Torch Run Officer, Officer Dennis Reilly, Tinley Park Police Department. Welcome to Discover Tinley.
Hello, Ron.
I got the title right?
Close enough.
Close enough. What is the Law Enforcement Torch Run then? What's you involved in? First of all, what's your background? You've been around police work for a while?
I started my career with the Riverdale Police Department. I retired from there after 25 years. And I came over here to Tinley Park, and I am a part-time officer working throughout the year, involved with Special Olympics also.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that Special Olympic. What's that torch run, law enforcement torch run you're involved with?
The law enforcement torch run started back in 1981 out of Wichita, Kansas, with a Chief Richard Lemunion, who had the vision of raising money for athletes with special needs. That being said, Illinois started their crusade as far as the torch run back in 1981, and what that consisted of was a relay race of departments going from town to town, raising money for the athletes of around the world for individuals with intellectual disabilities. So each state has kind of come on board, and it's become a global organization in which that money is raised, all benefiting the athletes of Special Olympics.
So this is worldwide?
This is a worldwide
Oh, my
organization.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's your involvement, and what's the Tinley Park Police Department involvement in this now?
The Tinley Park Police Department is part of a Leg 9, which throughout the state of Illinois, there's different areas, and each area has a number. And we happen to be part of Leg 9, which encompasses southern Cook County, and we run almost 2 days. We run 2 days, running almost 90 miles in those 2 days, from town to town with a torch, raising the awareness for the Special Olympics through the law enforcement torch run.
It's pretty much like they do the regular Olympics. The regular Olympics do the same thing, don't they?
Correct.
That torch thing. So you're just doing the same thing, but it happens to be for Special Olympics. That's all.
Correct.
Okay.
The law enforcement torch run, their goals are twofold. One is to raise awareness for Special Olympics, and the other one is to raise funds for the athletes. The towns that raise money doesn't go towards their budget. Nothing. It all gets turned over to Special Olympics Illinois, and where over 77 cents of every dollar goes back towards the athletes and the programs. Special Olympics is involved with 20 Olympic-style type sports in which individuals with intellectual disabilities can participate in at no cost to them.
Wow. Now, I read over, you guys do a lot of fundraising events. I can't believe all you do. It does talk about some of the fundraising events you do raising all this money. And there's one in particular let's talk about that one first, the polar plunge. I just heard about that recently. What is that all about? What do you guys do for that?
Well, it's a super plunge,
Okay.
actually. A super plunge we started that in Illinois 12 years ago. And individuals have to raise $2,500 each in order to jump in Lake Michigan in February once an hour for 24 hours.
So I got to pay $2,500 to jump in Lake Michigan in February.
If you want to be a part of
okay.
our team. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
So,
and how many people do you get involved with that?
from Tinley Park,
Yeah.
this year we had 5 officers.
Okay.
That jumped every hour. And in years past, we've had to have a backhoe out there to break up the ice and dig a hole so that we can go in.
Oh, jeez.
So each year is different challenges. This year it was wind and sand. There was no snow.
Yeah,
The water temperature was still 34 degrees.
Okay.
But, 2 o'clock in the morning, regardless if there's no snow or not, it's jumping in the lake is still not a fun pleasure.
Every hour for 24 hours?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
How much money did you raise off of that then?
That particular event, I believe we raised $17,000.
Oh, my goodness.
With all of us combined, yes.
So 5 officers involved.
Yes.
You don't happen to know them by name by now?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, would you? Let's give me
Yeah.
some. Okay.
So Sergeant Devine is the backbone, and he leads the Tinley Park officers, along with, we've got Jason Stoiner. He jumped this year.
Okay.
We had Melissa Benerick, she jumped. Myself and Russ Barlsdale.
Okay.
Those were the 5 officers from Tinley Park that I recall off the top of my head now, since I wasn't prepared for that one.
I'm sorry.
Nope, not a problem. So we did that once an hour for 24 hours.
Wow.
Yep. And that's just one of. We start out the year in February.
Yeah. What's some of the other ones?
We are part of the International Motorcycle Show, in which Illinois, the chiefs of police of Kane County have bought a motorcycle, and we raffle off tickets throughout the year throughout the state. So we have a traveling motorcycle that we keep in storage, and we bring it out to events throughout the state. So we start out with that. Then we go to the Super Plunge.
Okay.
We also wind up having a bowling event, which we call Strikes for Special Olympics.
Okay.
That raises over $10,000.
Oh my. Where do you do that at?
We do that in Centennial Lanes in town.
Oh, in town. Okay.
In town,
All
yep.
right, Okay.
We just finished our first comedy night. Detective Stan Tenza got together with local businesses and that, and we had a comedy night.
And
So
where'd you do that?
we
at?
did that at Odyssey.
Okay.
We had over 350 people there, and we had comedians roast the police officers,
Oh, jeez.
along with the silent auction and a 50-50 raffle. So we're still, I don't know the totals of that one, but knowing that with Detective Tenza and how he does things, that it should be another, success for our department. We also wind up the athletes for Special Olympics. They have to participate in the spring games, which allows them to go down to Bloomington and participate for medals.
Oh.
So we are a part of that.
Okay.
We
Well,
have officers.
when is that usually at? And
That
where?
is in May.
Okay.
May 6th, I believe, that
Oh,
first
okay.
Saturday in May.
Okay.
Shortly thereafter, we have Cops on Top, which is Dunkin' Donuts.
I've heard about that. Now, what do you
So-
do and where do you do that?
Dunkin' Donuts and Special Olympics have teamed up, and they are one of our corporate sponsors for the state. And they they say which towns or which Dunkin' Donuts are allowed to partake. And we have 3 in town, and we're able to have officers at 2 of the locations. One at 171st and 80th,
Oh yeah.
and another one at 183rd,
Okay. Now,
right
actually,
over by Convention
now,
Center.
what do you do at that?
Well, the one on 171st, they are actually on the roof,
Okay.
okay, and waving and talking to the people as they come up. The one where I'm at is on 183rd. It's a 6-story building. They wouldn't see me.
Okay.
But we're in the line for them to donate. We have coffee mugs that they can buy for $10 that have our logo on it of Special Olympics. We also that's just through May.
Wow.
In June, we do our torch run.
Okay.
And that's to raise awareness. Every town around. Throughout the year, there's over 3,000 officers that run their respected communities to raise awareness and funds for Special Olympics.
Wow.
We also do a Texas Roadhouse luncheon in town in July. We do a world's largest truck convoy in October.
Oh my.
So we have trucks come from all over. It's a $100 entry fee, and we bid on the lead truck, and we go on I-80 and down 57. Last year we had 74 trucks.
Oh my.
We raised $22,000.
Oh, jeez.
So
That blows my mind how much your money
just
you're
when you
raising.
think we're all done, we have a rock bottom restaurant event
Oh my.
that we have also in Orland, that they have a special brew that they make, and we sell pints of beer on that. All in all, over the year, Tinley Park, over the last 2 years, Tinley Park has raised over $218,000.
What?
Yes,
$288,000?
$218,000
My goodness.
for the athletes of Illinois.
Wow.
Quite an accomplishment.
I understand that's number, what number?
We are number one in the state
Wow.
in fundraising the last 2 years. So we've got a great partnership with Bill Devine's leadership. He's got the officers all on board. He's got special rapport with both, public and private sectors in the businesses that we're able to have these events, and the backing of the department and the village.
Yeah.
All those things come hand in hand. We understand the concept, and they understand it and what it means. We've built relationships through the police department just through the torch run, and it's a great community policing tool that we try to use, and the citizens see us in a different light. Especially in a time where law enforcement, it's not as pretty as most people think, that we're all bad guys, and here we are. None of us get paid for what we do for the torch run.
Yeah.
It's all volunteer, and we're talking, some of us, hundreds of hours throughout the year.
Wow.
But we're here to transform lives and to help our athletes. And you ever think you have a bad day, come around and see an event and go see an athlete. And you think you got problems, you've got no problems, because they will change your life and they will make you a happier person.
Wow. That blowing my mind, all this stuff. I bet you get a lot of good satisfaction out of doing stuff like this, and it kind of gives you guys a good feeling that you're helping some other people out.
It does. There's no monetary amount or it's really self-pride. Illinois has, along with that, Illinois has become ranked nationally. We are usually number 2 or number 3 in the world as far as fundraising through the law enforcement torch run. Last year, the officers of Illinois law enforcement raised over $4 million.
$4 million?
$4 million.
Oh my goodness.
So that's a lot of T-shirts, hats, and pins.
Wow. Well, you're blowing my mind with this. That's why I want to have you on. It's fantastic what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you.
By all means, keep up the good work. We'll see you around on that, but give our thanks to the officers that are doing all this. It's a tremendous experience, and thanks for all your work doing this kind of stuff.
It's a team effort.
It is. Tinley Park Police Department, one of the top in the nation, and in Illinois, doing Special Olympics help. Tremendous program. Thanks for coming to Discover Tinley.
You're welcome.
Keep in mind all the things coming up, and we'll see you next month.